Well, a very good morning to you all. I hope you're all fine on this extremely miserable Sunday morning. It's the 26th of March, 2023, and I'm here to bring you all the forecast for Southeast England for the next week. Well, as the title suggests, the clocks have moved forward, but the weather hasn't. And I've just been taking a few sort of look at a bit of a look at the stats for the last sort of month, temperatures and rainfall. So here's an interesting little sort of graph and some analysis from a weather station here in Folkestone. You can see that the average temperature here in Folkestone has been 7.3 degrees with 86 millimetres of rain so far, in contrast to up near Luton, where the average temperature has been 6.1. It's been somewhat drier up that part of the southeast of England this month with 50 millimetres of rain, but the rain is falling. And if we take a look at the bigger picture, let's just move me. I think I'm going to get in the way a little bit. If we look at the bigger picture, the central England temperature, you'll notice that 6.4 has been the average for March so far, which is actually cooler than it was in February. It's still above the long-term average, but yeah, that is quite noteworthy. There has been a huge contrast between those 2 months. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to show you what we were looking at in February when we had all this lovely red. These were high pressure anomalies. So that's a month ago. We would, if you remember, we were looking at 1,040 millibars. We had light breezes. It was all very pleasant and very dry compared to the pressure patterns this month. Low pressure has been well in control for the best part of 3.5 weeks now. So we had 4 weeks of really settled weather. Well, probably 6 weeks of really settled dry weather. And then we get this. So there, it has been a bit of a stark change. And if you remember the jet stream back in February, the pebble in the stream, the UK was protected. All of the weather action was well to the north of the UK. Well, that's changed now. That jet stream for most of this month has been piling across southern UK, down across continental Europe. And yeah, most of the time we've been on the cool side of the jet. So that's why we've had no spring-like temperatures. A couple of reasons for it. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but a couple of things at play here. The Pacific Madden-Jullien oscillation. It's a tropical atmosphere anomaly that really just takes place. It moves with at all times, but it does have hemispheric patterns that does associate with our weather. And also we had a major southern stratospheric warming in February, and normally what happens then is that polar vortex gets displaced, changes the weather patterns, not all the time, but we had one in February 2023. It normally takes about 3 or 4 weeks to propagate down to the to affect our weather patterns. And I think that's probably another key influence for the change in the conditions that we've seen this month. So yeah, all very normal, but yeah, it's just been a bit of a shock. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the weather for this week. So no prizes for guessing. Today is one of those write-off sort of days. It's cloudy, it's raining. There's an area of low pressure close to the Low Countries now. It's just starting to pull in northeasterly breezes as it moves away. The rain we've got will hang about for a few more hours before it clears out the way and we get that frost risk late tonight. But if we run this pressure pattern forward, so this is today, then tomorrow we notice that the reds appear. High pressure does come in. We are settled tomorrow, so a very pleasant day tomorrow. But by Tuesday, just note to the left of the screen, the blues of low pressure are starting to return. There is high pressure still on the continent, but that is ebbing away. And by Wednesday, look how that low pressure gets closer to the UK. High pressure ebbs away. This is by Thursday, and then this is by Friday. Low pressure, sadly, well back in control. So, yeah, spring is very, very delayed this year. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to start off with the day-by-day forecast. So tomorrow, as I've mentioned, a fine, pleasant, sunny day after that early frost in places, and it will stay that way all day. Fine, light wind, sunny spells, variable amounts of cloud, but rather cool. Your temperatures tomorrow, you'll be starting at below zero in many places, perhaps just the East Kent coast that will be spared from the frost, and your maximum temperatures tomorrow, rather cool, peaking at around about 9, possibly 10 degrees. The average now should be closer to around about 12 or 13, so a couple of degrees below average. By Tuesday is the day that we start to look towards the west for that a weak weather front. It's going to be affecting the west of the UK, but I don't think it's going to be affecting us in the southeast, at least not too much. I think if we just run this through, this is at 3 o'clock on Tuesday morning, a weak front does push across the southeast. I'm presuming that this is actually a warm front, so there might be a little bit of early drizzle. That should push out the way, but to all intents and purposes, particularly to the south of London, during daylight hours, it should be mainly dry, but there is rain on offer to the north of London, over towards Oxfordshire, Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire, those sort of places during the afternoon, but that will clear out the way. However, showers will be developing in the English Channel, and I think they'll be pushing in overnight. So things start to go downhill somewhat on Tuesday. We'll give you some starting temperatures. So Tuesday, we start the day at around about 2 or 3 degrees. So just a chance of an early frost in some of those eastern areas, and a cool day again on Tuesday with maximum temperatures around about 8, 9 or possibly a 10 degrees somewhere towards the south coast. Right, we move towards Wednesday, so we're going to take a look at how Wednesday is looking. So we start off with those showers near the southern coasts. They push inland during the morning, perhaps quite sharp for a time, but they will push out of the way by mid-morning. I think they'll be out of the area by noon, and then the afternoon, at least for a time, will be bright with some sunny spells. Just a chance of a few afternoon showers before a more organised band of rain pushes in from the west during the evening to give another burst of perhaps quite heavy and squally rain as that pushes through. So that's Wednesday. We'll now take a look at your temperatures on Wednesday. So no frost-related problems on Wednesday morning with the cloud and those showers pushing in. We start at 9 degrees and we peak at around about 15 or 16 degrees. So temperatures bounce back quite well after that cool start to the week. By the time we reach Thursday, so Thursday, where low pressure is now starting to influence things quite a bit more. The breezes will be on the increase. Notice those southwesterly breezes blowing through. A bright and breezy day is best summed up with sunshine and showers pushing through on that west or southwesterly breeze. Later on in the day, a more organised band of rain starts to push in across southwest England and then crosses the southeast on Thursday evening. So bright and breezy on Thursday with sunny spells and showers, longer spells of rain by evening. Temperatures on Thursday, so you'll be starting the day at around about, hang on, let's go to Thursday. So Thursday morning, no frost-related problems. We start the day at around about 10 degrees, which is all very pleasant. And again, look at that, 15 or 16 degrees. So, yeah, although there will be showers around, in between those showers, there will be sunny spells and temperatures will be getting into the 60s. 16 is 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, Friday. And we need to take a look at Friday because on this map, it's showing a breezy day with sunshine and showers, much the same as Thursday. Perhaps a spell of more organised rain inland for a time before that clears out the way. But that's not the whole story. This chart today isn't showing a potential wind event on Friday. If you look at the ensembles, I've been tracking this one for a few days. Friday the 31st, there is the chance of a small, quite deep channel runner low pushing across southern England. That does bring the risk of some gales. So although it's not being shown in those charts at the moment, it's something that we do just need to keep an eye on just for the next day or so. I expect the models will probably drop the idea, but there is enough confidence in these ensembles to suggest that there is a spike in the winds around about the 31st of March, which is Friday. So temperatures, we start the day on Friday. Again, no temperature related problems after the early part of the week. 9 or 10 are your starting temperatures. 14 or 15 will be the daytime temperatures. Now, what we're going to do is going to take a look at the weekend. Things sadly start to cool off and go downhill somewhat over the weekend. Notice how by Saturday those breezes are now starting to come in from a more northwesterly direction, a polar maritime air mass. So again, sunshine and showers can best be described to be the pattern for Saturday. And if we take it forward to Sunday, those northwesterly breezes, they strengthen. There's showers in the North Sea and they just threaten the East Kent coast. But perhaps by next Sunday, although it will be cooler, we'll be bringing down those northwesterly breezes. There is probably more in the way of sunshine on offer. So I'm now just going to take a look at next weekend's temperatures. So these are your maximum temperatures next Saturday. So they would have dropped back to 10s and 11s. And by Sunday, again, 10s and 11s. So, by next weekend, we will be below average. And those nighttime temperatures, we start on Saturday morning at around about 7s and 8s, and on Sunday morning around about 6s and 7s. So no frost-related problems, although the daytimes will become a little bit chilly. So I'm just going to start wrapping this all up now, just having a quick look at the trends for the week. We start with the 2-metre temperatures. This is for London. These are the Ensemble suites. Remember, the closer they're spaced together, the more confidence we have. So naturally, towards the left-hand side, good confidence. Spacing is fairly close together. As you move towards the right, this is up to 9th, 10th, 11th of April. The divergence starts, the confidence becomes less, but it's fair to say that there is no sign of spring. Look at this, maximum temperatures of 15 degrees are going to be hard to come by over the next fortnight. All very depressing for those wanting to get in the garden. Take a look at the pressure patterns. So low pressure coming across today, that will spike up tomorrow and Tuesday with that weak ridge of high pressure that brings that frost risk tonight. But then we bring that low pressure system in around about the 31st, and that's the one I'm keeping an eye on, that potential gale. But then pressure does build up next weekend under those cooler northwesterly breezes. And the rain spikes, so no prizes for guessing that rain is still very much in the forecast for the next week. Notice how there is a lull in the proceedings tomorrow through until around the 28th. That's that little area of high pressure. It's going to give us that fine day tomorrow. But yeah, it is a depression picture, rain at regular intervals. And even if we move forward into April, that is the scene. So this picture I took a couple of evenings ago at Folkestone Warren, I think sums things up quite well this week. Often breezy, unsettled, rain at times. A drier, brighter blip, I would say, tomorrow and for a time on Tuesday. But yeah, no signs of spring warmth just yet. I'm going to bring all this to a close, but if you could please subscribe to this. I'm getting lots of likes and things like that, but I'm not getting many subscribers, so it really does help with the algorithm and gets me seen on YouTube, something I'm desperate to really be developing. So yeah, if there's one thing you can do today is log onto your account and subscribe, and then you'll be doing me a great favor. But for now, I'm going to call it a day. I've been rambling on for 13 minutes, but a bit of detail, but I hope you've all found it useful. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely rest of the day, and ciao for now.